That's what I saw. I did not see politics. And I am here, my friends, to bear witness that the earth is moving, the tide is changing, and a giant is awakening in this land. A giant who has never been defeated. A giant who's in this room tonight. And that giant's name is We the People Silent No More. America has finally awakened to the basic principle that founded this country 234 years ago. The principle upon which the only real, legal, moral government can be based. That principle is alive today on the streets of Iran. Americans have finally awakened to it. And that principle is, when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. But when the government fears the people, there is liberty. Question, are you making a difference? In answer to that question, I would not read your newspapers or the media. We all know that there are certain things that are not going to be told by certain newspapers. I say this, I was there, I've seen it, and I've experienced it. But the answer to the question, are you making a difference, happened in an unreported piece of information last Friday night. 2 independent surveys, not sponsored by any political party, pointed out an amazing statistic to answer that question. They both came to the same results, not knowing the other was taking that same survey. And the results were, on all 13 major issues attacking our wounded nation, from abortion and amnesty and cap and trade and all the rest, including releasing terrorists from Guantanamo, and very strangely was included as to whether or not there should be racially profiling on airlines. And the results were, on all those issues, 71% of Americans are moving from the left to the right, not necessarily the political right, but the moral right as they see it. If you don't think that you have been a part of that, then I have a timeshare condo in Kabul I'd like to sell. Give yourselves a round of applause. You are not alone, Utah. By God, you are not alone. 23 states have invoked the 10th Amendment and declared sovereignty. 14 more at this point tonight are considering joining them. Oklahoma, in open defiance of the federal government, declared English was the official language of Oklahoma. Anyone here born in Texas? Texas told the Attorney General, if you're not going to enforce our immigration laws, then we'll do it. And stay out of our way and don't mess with Texas. Two prominent members of the House of Representatives from Tennessee, under pressure from the Tennessee Tea Party, announced their retirement. Don't you dare listen to anyone who's saying there is no noticeable effect of what's happening in the largest grassroots movement in the history of this country. God bless Tennessee. 10 state patriotic groups are organizing now for state amendments to opt out of government-run health care and any attempt at cap and trade. times you won't see this tidbit in any newspaper. But as you sit here right now, the largest meeting of leaders of the grassroots movement, there are 121 of them with all kinds of interesting names. They are meeting in a summit at a place called Valley Forge to put together what they believe are the principles they all espouse. And they are going to hand-deliver those principles to the United States Congress, the asylum on Capitol Hill. And they're not going to ask, they're going to deliver an ultimatum. You listen to the will of the people, or your days are numbered. To give you an idea on a personal level of how deep this grassroots movement has gone, 3.5 weeks ago, Mr. Paine received a phone call while practically on a dog sled in Anchorage, Alaska, where Mr. Paine spoke to 2,000 patriots on a glacier. Thank God for thermal underwear. And I received a call from a lady who said, we have 151 blue-haired grandmothers all over the age of 80. We have a group, Mr. Paine, that you should know about. We're here in Brooklyn, New York. Could you come to Brooklyn in 3 days? We had 15 days in a row of speaking engagements. You can't turn down grandma in blue hair when she says, please, we need you to speak. I came to Brooklyn, New York. I walked in to the recreation room of the Brooklyn Senior Citizens Retirement Home. And there they were, the 151 blue-haired ladies. The name of the group was TOBFCS, T-O-B-F-C-S. Tough Old Broads for Common Sense. The lady who introduced me, I'll give you almost verbatim. She said, Mr. Paine, we're here because we're in God's waiting room. We're sick and tired of dribbling and looking at the wall. We decided to make a difference. And the most important reason is we don't want to see our country die before we do. You laugh when you hear their name. In 3 months, the tough old broads of Brooklyn for Common Sense have done what has never been done in the borough of Brooklyn. They have recalled 2 city council members. There's more. They're making more history. They are at this moment gathering 555,000 signatures, in their words, to kick the borough president as far out of Brooklyn as we can. And they have over 200,000 signatures at this point. That's your grassroots movement.